Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're going to do something a little bit different. You see, we're currently within the Skulls for the Skull Throne event. This is an annual event hosted by Games Workshop celebrating all things Warhammer. And of course, many developers working on various video games are also taking part too. On screen right now we have Warhammer 40,000 Lost Crusade, an MMO strategy mobile game set in the 41st millennium. I've been reached out to check this game out and provide my first impressions on it, and yes, this is a sponsored video, however it is in no way affecting my personal thoughts on the matter. Skulls for the Skull Throne is a big event for Lost Crusade, as not only does it see the arrival of the Sisters of Battle into the game, but also the full official launch in the United States. So let's not waste any more time and jump right in.
The galaxy is aflame. The shadow of damnation spreads across the stars. To repel this darkness, a mighty crusade is launched. The threat of chaos must be driven back. Uncountable enemies stand in their path, but the defenders of the Imperium do not stand alone. Guided by their unshakable faith in the Emperor, they will vanquish the storm. They will be the light that breaches the darkness. And they shall know no fear.
Download now.
Alright, starting off quite strong there with a pretty cool trailer to be honest. Ultramarines and Sisters of Battle fighting against Black Legion Chaos Space Marines. But let's just jump into the gameplay, as that's of course what we're here for. So what you can see on screen is my battle barge. This is my base of operations and where I'll be building up, recruiting some troops and just waging war. It might seem that there's a lot on screen, but believe me, it's not as overwhelming as you might think. This is a basic account, I have nothing special attached to it, so what you see here is what you'll be getting as you start playing. The game's got a decently long PvE campaign known as an expedition. The missions, known as chapters, are quite beneficial for you if you intend to play this game, as the rewards there are quite good and are always very varied. How this works is when you decide to pick your chapter, you are then sent to another screen where you can choose your loadout. Right now I'm pretty early into the game, so I don't have that many different heroes to pick. I've got my librarian here, who should be able to go and do damage by himself, so let's just go in. You will be treated to little in-game cutscenes every now and then, which is always kinda nice.
Deployment complete. No survivors have been detected. Wait. We're picking up a coded distress signal. The encryption is Imperial.
Calensis! Under attack! Heavy losses! Urgently need assistance!
Now proceeding to the source of the distress signal.
Okay, so in-game voice acting isn't too bad to be honest. It fits with the theme and does feel like a Space Marine. It's not too over the top. The battle system, as you can see, is very much based on a auto-battle function, which isn't too bad. You can pretty much just summon in some troops and watch your armies fight. Here I've only got a Primaris Librarian and a squad of Intercessors, but they're doing quite a lot of damage. It's of course important to note that this is the first mission, and very early chapters are going to be quite easy. It won't really take too long until you start getting more characters, and each of them have their own special abilities. I finally was able to get myself a Dreadnought, which, you know, are always pretty cool because it's a Dreadnought. These expeditions will also teach you the special abilities that these characters may have, like for example using psychic powers with your librarians, which, I don't know, some people would call that heresy, but, you know, Rabute Gilliman says it's not, so we're gonna have to agree with him. There's an in-game questing system known as chapters, and these are linked to various different aspects of Lost Crusade, building up your bases, constructing different things, even completing expeditions, so at least it's varied, with the rewards mostly focused around different in-game currencies. It's a good way to keep you going and making sure that you're not running low on anything. Completing a number of quests will complete a full chapter, which will provide even more bonuses, and it's quite beneficial to keep going through these chapter missions, as this of course is the main way to progress the rest of the story, and yeah, I mean, more in-game currency, it's very useful. Lost Crusade features a lot of different types of units. Each of the barracks are very specialized. Like for example, here we can see all the different types of Primaris Space Marines, the basic ground troops at least. Different types of intercessors, hellblasters, even eradicators. Most of these units are the ones that form the core basis of your tabletop army. Visually they look pretty cool. They are Ultramarines of course, which means that they are the poster boys of the Imperium. The game goes at great length to establish in-game lore. You'll notice a few of these cutscenes appearing every now and then, and I quite like that personally, as well it's always good for a Warhammer game to have centralized lore. There is a little RNG involved, known as hero rescues. This is actually how I ended up with said dreadnought that you've seen before. There are two versions of this: basic rescue, which is completely free and will regenerate apparently over time, as you can see there, or deep rescue, which guarantees a epic or legendary hero. The deep rescues themselves use a special in-game currency, but I don't have enough of that just yet, so I've been using the free ones. You won't always get a hero character. Instead you'll get some equipment for them, or sometimes experience, or even in-game currency, so either way you'll benefit from this. Fans of the Raven Guard Space Marine chapter will also notice a certain character on the far right, so it looks like you can get other characters which aren't just Ultramarines, which is awesome as there are some characters from other chapters which, let's be honest, are kinda cool. I haven't been playing much by the time that this section has been recorded, but so far there have been a number of stops just to progress the story, which has been quite cool. It's another way for them to introduce more units to you, and just to keep the theme going. I don't play a lot of mobile-based games, but I haven't really seen that happen in the ones that I have played, so it's nice to have a theme, especially as I've always said with Warhammer games, story is very important. Base building and recruitment can take some time. Early on, the stuff is very fast to build. Some of them are even instantaneous, which is pretty good. I'm imagining that this system is in place to keep things from snowballing. I'm not too well versed with these games, but I imagine if everyone could just build everything instantly, well, you know, of course everyone would be way too powerful. I honestly don't mind that. It's one of those games where you invest time, yes, but the way I've been doing it is at a very leisurely pace. I've had it on my phone, and I've been going on every now and then, but it's not been something that you feel forced to always be on. For context, maybe around every few hours I'll go on the game, make sure everything's fine, do a few missions and relax. It always works quite well during a lunch break at work. I'm progressing through the story as I want to progress. There's no sense of urgency, which is good, because last thing you want to do is feel like you need to be on game at all times. There's an interesting system in place using a scanner on your battle barge. This allows you to search around for other enemies, and provides two different types of missions. One where you just send your army to deal with something and they'll deal with it themselves, often coming back with their own resources and other things, and then there's also some auto-battle missions there too, which will take you to different locations, and they're always quite thematic, so yeah, enjoyable. So with all that being said, I just want to give some final thoughts. I've played for around, I'd like to say around 3-4 hours or so. There have been a few breaks here and there, and it's just been nice to just chill with. This is one of those games that I can relax with and just enjoy at my own leisurely pace. It looks like it's very stylized. The developers obviously have knowledge of the Warhammer 40k universe, and I think implementation so far has been quite good. I must admit that it was a little worrying when I found out that there was a Warhammer mobile game, because you never really know when it comes to these things. though everything so far has surprised me. I've got to say, everything so far looks good. I hope the difficulty ramps up a little bit, but that's just because I prefer harder games, and, well, I'm assuming so it's going to as time progresses and the campaign moves on. To celebrate the Skulls event, the developers have provided us with a special code, which is on screen right now, and if you use that in-game, you will get $10 worth of in-game items completely for free. A little head start is of course always helpful. But what do you guys think about Warhammer 40,000 Lost Crusade? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion.